topic tonight is holistic spiritual transformation. This is the introduction part of the program. It's a 5-month program. So this is how to raise your vibration by overcoming the 5 common barriers to success. It's an introduction to becoming a medical intuitive and advanced healer. So what are the common questions that people have today? One is, are you ready for the transformation of all of humanity that they are experiencing right now? We're all going through an incredible change in life. And it obviously started a long time ago, but it really hit everybody in the face in 2020. And it's gotten worse in 2021 as people are starting to wake up. And we're going to need more and more healers as people wake up. Do you understand how to change your vibration? Even if you don't understand it, it's happening automatically. We're getting downloads constantly, but there's a lot of conflicting information out there. Should you be a vegan? Should you be vegetarian? Does it matter? Do you need to meditate more? Do you need to meditate at all? What do you need to believe? What shouldn't you believe? And so on. It just depends on who you talk to, what dogma they believe, what environment they're in. And some of that matters and some of it doesn't matter at all. Some of it, it's more your thought processes. But this whole program is about how to raise your vibration. And as you raise your vibration, you start getting a lot of abilities, and one of them is include becoming a healer. And it's really easy to become a medical intuitive once that happens. So do you all know your soul contracts or your soul purpose? I frequently ask people, what's your soul purpose? And they say, oh yeah, I know my purpose. Well, you have more than one. Do you know them all? Do you know why you incarnated? What are the lessons you're supposed to learn? What's the karma you're supposed to release? So we're going to talk about that as well. Have you been able to remove your blockages to success? So some people are afraid of money. They think, oh, if I make money or if I ask for money, that's no good. Some people think they're not qualified. Oh, people won't listen to me. What do I know? So they don't honor who they are. Maybe you have some other issue. I know for me, I've had a lot of issues that I had to overcome. And it wasn't about money for me. It was a lot of health stuff that just kept getting in the way. Are you interested in advanced healing practices like becoming a medical intuitive or a powerful healer? If so, then this is a good program for you. Are you ready for Earth and humanity to transition into higher densities? So I call them densities. What do some people call them? I forgot. Dimensions. I don't use dimensions because in science, the physics, people use dimensions and they have very specific meanings. So I use density because we're talking about your vibration. So how heavy are you? How light are you? Heavy meaning you have more darkness in your energy field. Your DNA is actually light. So the higher vibration is about having more light. So what are we going to do in this workshop? We're going to begin to discuss some of the common obstacles that people face today. I do encourage questions, but I'm going to answer them at the end. So write them down and then raise your hand. We're on Zoom. If you're, so you can raise your hand in Zoom if you know how, or just wait till the end. If you're on YouTube, because we're also broadcasting on YouTube, then just put the comment down in chat and I'll get back to it afterwards because I can't do questions on chat and on Zoom at the same time. If you are watching, oh, okay, we did that. On March 22nd, I'll have a 3-week class on the basics of holistic spiritual transformation to jumpstart your spiritual journey. We'll cover the fundamentals of raising your vibration and becoming an advanced spiritual healer and medical intuitive. And if you stay to the very end, there's a special free gift for people, so be sure you stay till the end. And if you're watching this live, I'm going to be leaving it up, so you may be watching the replay. So the replay will be up until the March 22nd class begins. Okay, so who am I? I'm Dr. Beverly Lawrence. My PhD is in frequencies. I'm a licensed acupuncturist, but I also do sound healing and light healing and a lot of other things, and I wanted to understand more about frequencies. So I went back to school and I studied frequencies and how to use them to heal. And that's really what our vibration is. It's a type of frequency. So how on earth did I get started in that? Over 30 years ago, I got divorced and got really, really sick. I actually started getting sick while I was still married, but afterwards I got incredibly sick. Ended up having 5 near-death experiences. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it because I've got other videos available where you can find out all of the things that happened. But I was an atheist at the time and was in Silicon Valley. I was in high tech and managed a lot of projects, did a lot with the web and the internet and all kinds of stuff. And of course, that's high stress. So one of my doctors told me what I needed to do was meditate. And I started meditating and it changed my life. And since then, I've had a passion for helping other people understand the wonderful gifts and incredible things you learn when you start to meditate. And that then leads to becoming a healer and then a more advanced healer, and eventually you can become a medical intuitive, and people start calling you from all over the world asking you for help. And the more people we have like that, the better we're going to be, because some of you may have noticed our medical system is breaking down. Not that it was perfect before, but it's almost non-existent. At least where I am, the medical clinics here have shut down, and the one in the next town over is shut down. And even in Phoenix, it's almost impossible to get in to see a doctor. We have no doctors up here who will see patients at the clinic, and there's very few down in Phoenix, so you may wait months before you see a doctor. So we're going to need some alternatives. So I talked about that. Okay. So how to overcome the barriers to success? Well, there's 3 ways. Meditate, meditate, meditate. I believe in the Hermetic philosophy of as above, so below. So a lot of people say body, mind, spirit, or body, mind, soul. I do it the other way. Soul, mind, body. Because if you heal at the soul level, it ripples down. If you keep your soul level clear, and you're getting clear messages through your soul, from your soul, through your soul from the divine and your spirit helpers and power animals or whatever you work with. Some people just go straight from the divine, which is really your soul. Everything comes through your soul. And you will notice, as the more you meditate, some of your thought patterns. So now you can change your thought patterns. And those negative thought patterns lead to emotional issues and behavioral issues. And those can lead to physical ailments when they're not in check. So through meditation, we can then deal with the mental, deal with the emotional, and finally with the physical. And when you do that, you rarely ever get sick. And you avoid a lot of conflicts because you no longer take things personal. You now understand where the other person's coming from in the moment. And you're able to know that that's not you, that's them, and let it go. Is there a best way or one way for everyone? No. I frequently get people say, I know how to meditate and this is what I do. Well, that's cool. But let's say you like to just sit and meditate and clear your mind and just meditate. And now you've got something going on in your life and you have monkey mind. That kind of meditation doesn't work. Or you're someone that likes some kind of moving meditation like a yoga or a tai chi or qigong or walking meditation. There's many different kinds of moving meditation. and now you can't move much. Now what do you do? So knowing different kinds of meditation and what they're good for will help you when you have a problem. Because a lot of times I meet people and I say, do you meditate? And they go, I used to, but I don't anymore because it didn't work. Well, yeah, because you had a problem and you didn't use the right meditation. Is meditation based on dogma? No. It doesn't matter what religion you have, what belief system you have. Now, sometimes people's belief system can get in the way of some of the things that we teach, but we can always rescript that into words that you'll find acceptable. But you don't have to change your religion. You don't have to change your belief system. Well, even if you're an atheist, you can still go through the program and make it all work and come up with a different answer for why it's working. But once you start on this path, I can assure you, you will feel the presence of the divine, and you know there's something bigger than us that we're a part of. Some say clear the mind to empty thoughts to meditate. Well, guess what? You're not going to clear the mind. You're always going to have thoughts. If you stop having thoughts, it means you're not alive anymore because you've always got thoughts. And you have different kinds of thoughts. So some thoughts come up from your belly brain and they're related to your emotions. Some thoughts come from your mind brain because they're related to how you analyze and think things. And some thoughts are actually coming from the divine. So what you want to do is you want to clear out the belly brain and the mind brain thoughts and listen to the divine thoughts. So a simple definition of meditation is to connect with the divine. So think about what's the difference between meditation and prayer. Just think about that. What's the difference? And I'm talking about prayer where you talk, not silent prayer, which is a type of meditation. Prayer is when you talk to God, and meditation is where you listen to God. So that's why we want to clear out all of our thinking and our stories and our emotional thoughts and just listen to the messages from the divine. If you want to talk to God, that's fine. Talk to God first. It's a nice way to start a meditation. You sort of set the intention. And then we come to mindfulness. Now, I meet some people that don't know the difference between meditation and mindfulness, and they actually want to use mindfulness sayings to meditate on. And I don't recommend that at all, especially if you use English. It's a very toxic language. I go into that in more detail in my book. We're not going to do that here. But you want to stay connected to the divine all day long. That's what mindfulness is about. That's when you pay attention. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking about? Are you worrying? If you're worrying, you're in the past. If you're afraid, you're up in the future. Be in the moment and just listen to your thoughts. Now, the first time I did this, I was exhausted at the end of the day. Staying in this state takes a lot of time and energy. It's kind of like you want to go play basketball or some sport. You need to practice first. You need to get your muscles built up. The same is true with mindfulness. You need to meditate and get the mind under control and focused, and then mindfulness becomes really easy. And it's not so hard to stay in that state. Then the third state is manifestation. So if you want to manifest, you have to start with meditation because that's where you're creating your future. So you manifest, you stay in mindfulness, which prevents negative karma, and then you manifest through visualization. So you need to do all 4 steps. A lot of people don't do that. You need to put energy into it, and it takes energy to do this. Okay, so how do we overcome barriers to success? I don't like this statement, dream life. What is dream life? It's used a lot. For some people, it means a great job. For some people, it means money. For some people, it means going on the perfect vacation, whatever that is. For some people, it might be owning a horse. Whatever it is that you consider having a dream life, are you manifesting it? A lot of times what I hear from people is, I don't have time. So we're going to talk about time in a minute. Most of the time when we talk about things and we say this is what our barrier is, or what we can't do, or what we need, that's just an excuse that we make up to justify what we're not doing. And usually that's meditating. Do you want better focus, or are you easily distracted? Now, I looked up some research, and it said, oh, people today are easily able to stay focused. There's no problem. But that's not true. Every time your phone has a little pop-up, or every time someone tweets or does a TikTok or whatever it is you listen to, or the phone rings, that's a real problem. People think they have to answer their phone. Guess what? I have an app on my phone from my carrier. My phone doesn't ring if you're not in my contacts. And just because you call, I leave my phone on my home office desk. So if I'm walking my dog, I don't take the phone. If I'm working in the garage, I don't take the phone. If I'm working in another room or in the backyard, I don't take the phone. So think about how often you have your phone. Do you take it with you to the dinner table? I don't. I eat without my phone. Because otherwise you're constantly jumping back and forth. Or do you ever watch TV and you've got your phone? You're watching both at the same time. How often have you done that? People don't stay focused, and that's a problem, and that's one of the things meditation will help you with. Do you want to know how to get unstuck and how to move forward in every situation? So these first three things, these first three barriers, I cover in my 3-week program we'll talk about later. So getting control of your life. 1, create a 5-year plan and create 3 categories to your plan: personal, professional, and spiritual. And have goals in each plan. I recommend at least 3 goals. You can have more, but if you don't have at least 3, and they should be goals that you don't know if you're going to accomplish. You're stretching yourself. So a personal goal would be like you want to learn to garden, you want to learn to take pictures, be a better photographer, you want to learn how to knit, I don't know. Whatever kind of skill you might want to add, or a hobby you might want to start, or some kind of game you want to go play bridge or something. A professional would be, what are you doing for your work? If you're retired, then focus more on a hobby where you're doing nonprofit type work, volunteer work, and that would be your professional if you're retired. And then what are you doing for spiritual? And that would include meditation, and it would, if you're a coach or a professional, it might include more advanced techniques that you want to work on. So break that 5-year plan into 1-year segments and create a goal for each year. And those goals for each year should support the 5-year plan. So you work backwards. You have in 5 years, this is what I want, and each year I will do this so that in 5 years I will have achieved that goal. Then take the first year, the one that's coming up next, and break it into 12 months and have a set of goals for each month so that at the end of the first year, you've accomplished that first year's goal. And if you want to break it down to the week and day, if you're, a Virgo, you really want to get that detailed, you can. But I like to leave it more at the month level. And if something happens where, someone got sick or you got sick or something happened, there was an accident, just push everything out. Don't say, oh, I failed. No, just push everything out a little bit and regroup and keep going. And eventually you'll get to your goal. So you want to cut back on 1 to 2 hours of time that is wasted. So how do you find wasted time? Well, the big one is TV. You can cut back on your TV. I've read some people watch a couple hours a day. I don't even own a TV. I don't watch TV. I don't have Netflix or whatever those other things are you can get online. Do you play games? How much time are you playing games? Now, is it important to sometimes play games? Yeah, it's important to have fun. But a lot of people are doing these online games on their phone or on the Facebook or wherever they're playing their games. Cut back on that. How much time are you spending emails? Can you just check your email maybe twice a day rather than every 5 minutes. How much time are you spending on social media? Really keep track of how much time you're spending and try to find a little bit of time where you can budget, and we'll talk about that in a minute, where you can budget your time and you just then plan, okay, this is my time for social media, that time's up. This is my time for meditation, this is my time for eating, and just plan it out. So when you save 20 minutes or 1 to 2 hours, use that time to meditate and work on your goals. So let's say you come up with 40 minutes. You didn't get a whole hour. Well, you can do a 20-minute meditation and then 20 minutes working on your goals. If you get 2 hours, you can do more things. You can spend time not only working on the goals schedule, but time actually working on the goal. Maybe you can do an hour a day and 2 20-minute meditations. And another way to get more time is 20 minutes of meditation is worth 2 hours of sleep. So if you're really tired during the day, instead of taking a 1 or 2 hour nap, do a 20-minute meditation. Now you're all revved up and ready to go again. Now you've refreshed your mind and you're all set. So what are the 5 most common barriers to success? The first one is lack of control. You get triggered. Your mood changes because of someone else. Because lack of self-control, lack of emotional control, that is allowing someone else to trigger you. And this is really a big one. This is affecting so many people. I talk to people, how are you doing? Oh, I'm fine, but you know what so-and-so did? Blah, blah, blah. Hello? You're so upset you're telling other people what someone else did. You took it personal. It's what they did. And we all do this. Even I do this. None of us is perfect. But it's something to really work on, because when your mood changes, guess what? You're not working on your goals. You're wasting time. You're wasting a lot. So this is a big one. The second one is not understanding how you impact other people. So maybe you're the one that people are now talking about. And trust me, we all get talked about. So what are you doing that's causing others to have a problem? Because when they're upset at you, they're sending negative energy your way, and that's going to affect you as well. 3 is lack of focus. We've talked about that. I don't need to talk about it too much more, but lack of focus, when you're trying to get something done and you can't focus, you're all over the place and you need to solve a problem. It's hard to solve a problem when you can't really zero in on it and think of what's the pros, the cons, the alternatives, and do I need help? Who do I get help from? How am I going to accomplish this goal? You really need to focus to do that. Unknown or fuzzy life purpose. We talked about this earlier. Some people don't know their purpose at all. Some people think they know the purpose, but they're not manifesting all of their purposes, so that gets in the way. Or they think they know their purpose, but it's not really clear how they're supposed to do it. And sometimes the how is up to you. You have to figure that out. And the best way to do that is to meditate. Or you either don't know what to do about the first 4, or you know what to do and you don't try. And that don't try part is what I see with a lot of people who just won't meditate. They say, oh, I don't need to meditate. I tried that. It didn't work. I don't have the time to meditate. All the excuses we make up for why we don't meditate. That affects us living our life purpose. And if we're not living our life purpose, the synchronicity to bring us everything that we dream of and want in our life doesn't happen. It's a block. It's a major block to creating the ideal life that you want to live. So, what's the Holistic Spiritual Transformation Intensive? In this intensive, it's a 3-week program. It used to be a 6-week program, and I've condensed it to make it quicker and easier and less expensive. Understand the 5 elements: fire, water, air, earth, and ether. Now, in Western culture, ether aether, as it's pronounced, was eliminated. And they said, oh, there's only 4 elements. Whereas in the East, they still have 5 elements, but they don't call it aether. It's wood. And air is metal. So they have fire, water, earth, metal, and wood. The other thing is to work with divine spirit and helpers, angels, if you will, or whatever you want to call your spirits, to improve your skills and healing abilities. Much of what I've learned has come through. And when I'm working with people, what I need to give them comes through in the moment. And so being able to meditate and bring that information through in the moment really, really helps. Use different meditation techniques to heal emotions and trauma. So we're going to go through that as well. Use different meditation techniques to motivate yourself to achieve your goals. So yes, you can meditate to achieve your goals. That sounds easy, right? So I have what's called a holistic spiritual transformation program. So it's a whole program. The first one is an introductory workshop. That's where we are right now. This is free. And it's about an hour and a half, I think. Then we have the 3-week advanced intensive program, which I talked about earlier. And this is where we go into what I've been talking about tonight in depth. And we learn the skills and the techniques to actually deal with our own personal obstacles, whatever they are for you. So it's a 120-minute or 2-hour weekly live webinar, but it does have replays. So if you're not available live, then you can play the replay. Then comes a summit. That's March 29th through 31st. And so then comes a 3-month master program where we really go in depth how to be a medical intuitive and a master healer. Then access to one public and one private Facebook group page. So if you don't attend live, or if after the program you still have questions, you'll be able to go into this private Facebook group with only other people who have been through the program. And you can ask questions, and your fellow tribe, because they're all going to be people who have the same values you have, who go through the program, can help you in various ways, making recommendations, suggestions, other people that might help you, and I'll be there as well. So basically it's free coaching. Free coaching from your peers and from me through that Facebook page once you take the class and you're in the program. And there's also a free Facebook group page that you can join now, and that link I'll give you at the end of this program. Then with every workshop I do, I give downloads from Spirit. And there are things like clearing blockages and other gifts that Spirit gives me. And all of my programs have multiple downloads that I give people. So what's the outcome? What can you expect to get if you go through this program? Through the 3-week program, the first part, you'll have a schedule for success and your goals defined. You will know which meditation style is best for you for your specific needs. And you'll have various meditation styles to use as other issues occur. So that gives you a foundation. So if you don't have that foundation in place, then the advanced healing and becoming a medical intuitive won't work. You need to be able to meditate and understand what you need to do, and then those techniques are really easy. And then in the 3-month program, this is the master program, the really advanced training, you will have advanced healing skills. There's all kinds of incredible things that I give you in that class, in that program. And you will learn how to be a medical intuitive. Becoming a medical intuitive takes practice. So whether you'll be one in 3 months or not depends on how much you meditate and how much you work at it. But through the program, if you go through the entire 5-month program, these are the skills that you'll have at the end as long as you do the work. So who's the program for? Success-oriented people with a big mission in life, willing to do the personal development work to manifest their life goals. So if you just want to, be nice, I've had people say their life goal was to be nice. This isn't for you. This is for people who want to make a difference in the world, who want to be of service to others. I can only help so many people. I can only teach so many people. But if I can teach people who want to help others, then if I reach, say, 1,000 people, and that 1,000 people reach 1,000 people, there's 10,000, and then that 1,000 people reach another 1,000 people, as what, 100,000? And eventually you've reached 1,000,000 people if you've touched enough people for the basics to be advanced healers. And it's really not that hard. The only challenging thing is to be diligent with your meditations. There's no magic pill for changing your life. I can give you all the empowerments in the world. That's not going to change your life. That's just going to help you make the changes you need to change your life. It's up to you to do it. Only you can do the work. So think of it as leading a horse to water. You can show the horse where the water is. You can't make it drink. And the horse could die of thirst in front of the river if it refuses to drink. So you have to do the work. I can't do that for you. All I can do is open doors, remove obstacles, clear a pathway, show you a direct pathway. You have to do it. So you have to allocate 20 to 40 minutes a day for personal development. And I've told you how to find the time in your schedule. And you have to use meditation for overcoming your own personal obstacles. You have to use meditation to find out you're actually a very, very powerful, incredible human being. And you have everything it takes to reach people. You're going to do it in your own special way, because we all do it different, and that's okay. And the way you do it, some people are going to find very, very attractive. So don't think you're not good enough. You're good enough. Trust me, you're good enough. If you want to help people, you're good enough. You'll find a way, especially when you meditate. It just comes through. I'll go to set something up and I'll go, I don't know what to do. So I go meditate. Boom, all of a sudden I know what to do. I was trying to figure out how to do this program in 5 months. And one morning I wake up and I realized, whoop, it had come into me in my dream. And I knew exactly how to do it. So I used to teach this program. It was very intense and people said it's too much. I can't do it. So I'm taking some of those too much things out and putting them in separate classes that you can just take separately. And by shortening it, it makes it easier to take, more palatable. We can spend more time doing the exercises and really getting into what you need to know to do some of these things so that you can in turn teach them to others. You will get downloads. Sometimes they're called attunement, shaktis, empowerments, and they help you. They'll help you in ways that you'll experience. You'll know they're helping you, but again, you still have to do the work. Just because you got help, you still have to meditate and do the work. So, are you ready? Do you want to become a medical intuitive? Do you want to be an advanced healer? Will that help you in your work or in your family? Then this program is for you. So here is the Holistic Spiritual Transformation Intensive to remove barriers and raise your vibration. So this is the 3-week program. So it's, like I said, it's 2 hours each week for 3 weeks. So that's not too bad. You don't have to worry about, 5 weeks out I'm going to a wedding or whatever. You just have to block those 3 weeks. And there will be YouTube replay, both for if you couldn't attend it live, or you just, wow, what did she say again? I want to back that up. So you can go in and replay parts that you want to hear again. There will be 20-minute guided meditations that go with it. But I've also, if you don't want to do my meditations, I also have a number of meditations that are available for free on YouTube that do the same thing. So you can do my meditations, or you can do the YouTube meditations, or you can do both. Some people like to have music in the background. And when I do my meditations, at this time, I don't have music that I can play on YouTube without getting a zing. So I do drumming, and I have my bell. So I'll do bells, or I'll do rattling, or I'll do drumming. I actually have a drumming meditation out on YouTube right now if you want to know what that's like. So you have your choice of doing the meditations, and you'll have those evergreen, so you can use them as long as you need to. I love finding new meditations on Facebook. They have awesome meditations from so many gifted musicians out there. So if you need to listen to something while you meditate, it really does help. So you have lifetime access to the Facebook group. Like I said, it's a private group with people who have been through the program. So you have like-minded people that you can talk to who are all coaches and professionals, or at least they're using this, what they learned, to help their family and friends. You'll get your downloads from Spirit. And then I have a couple of bonuses for you. One is 30 minutes of spiritual counseling. So if you need help with your goals, or you need help with meditation, or you have a different obstacle you want to talk about and you don't want to do it publicly in the class, you want to do it privately, whatever, that's your 30 minutes to talk to me. The class will be evergreen. And when I taught the class before, the goal setting was part of the class. And a lot of people, they already meditate daily. They already know how to set their goals. They don't need that. So I made it as a separate evergreen class. So if you need that, it's part of it, but it's separate. It won't be live. It's a video that you watch. And then if you have questions, you can either go on Facebook, or you can make that part of your 30 minutes with me. And last is a track-a-book called Overcoming 5 Barriers to Success. So what is a track-a-book? So this booklet, I call it a booklet. It's about 2,500 words, so it won't take you very long to read it. And it's all about the 5 barriers and which meditation to use. So you don't have to take notes during the class because you'll have this booklet. But it's a track-a-book because you can share this book with your friends. And in it, there is a code. And when you go into my app, Dancing Bear Enlightenment Academy, and there's a track, if you look in the directory, you pull down the little, the menu thing, and it'll say, enter tracking number. So you click on that, and it'll say, enter your tracking number here, and you put that number in, and it's going to give you access to an area of the app that only people who have read that track-a-book have access to. So now you can talk to people by, it's typing like Twitter or something. So you're typing in your information and you hit enter. Now anybody else that has that tracking code can see what you're saying. So you can have discussions with people who have all read the same book, who are all doing the same 5 barriers to success. They may not have taken the class, but they've read the book and they understand the principles and the concepts. So that's available. Now, my app will have a website very, very soon, probably March, April. And when the website goes live, if you don't have a smartphone and you can't get into the phone because you don't have a smartphone, you can go to the web. And again, you just enter the tracking number, and only people with that tracking number can see what's written in there. So it's a way for you to share with your friends, and they don't have to take the class, but they get the booklet on overcoming barriers. What does this cost? So the weekly thing is $5.97. That's my standard cost for the 3-week program. When it was 6 weeks, it was $9.97. So the $5.97 saves you $400. Then the weekly recordings of 20-minute guided meditations are worth about $500. I'm basing this on my time. My time is $250 an hour. Access to a private Facebook. Some people that I've talked to, they say that's worth like $5,000 because you're getting free coaching. But I just put it down as $1,000 because not everybody uses Facebook. You get downloads from Spirit, and that's priceless. I mean, how do you put a price on that? I don't know. So I just put priceless for that. The bonus one, the 30-minute counseling, because it's a half hour, that's $125. The evergreen class is $97. That's what I usually charge for an evergreen class. And the track-a-book, it's free. Okay, it's worth something, but it's free. I'm not going to put a value on that. So the total value is $2,319. So the regular price for this, without the bonuses and everything, is $597. But I've lowered it for this week only. If you register for this week, it's $197. So that saves you $400. And if you want to be an affiliate, that means you know people who want to take this class. You need to contact me. You will need a PayPal account. So I need your name and PayPal ID. And I will give you $50 for everyone who registers and attends the class. So contact me if you're interested in being affiliate. So here's the links. I'm going to post these links in chat on Zoom, so you don't have to write them down. I'll post them and you can keep the chat. And on YouTube, we're going live right now, but after we're live, I will post the links on YouTube, so you just come back. So the Holistic Transformation Program, now the whole website isn't completely done yet, sorry. But most of it's there. So Dancing Bear, holistictransformation.com. Then the link for the 3-week program is this long link, because this collects the money and then notifies my email system that you just paid, so that I can send you the link to the class. And then here's a quick link to see me. Maybe you have some more questions that you don't want to ask tonight, or you're watching this on YouTube later and you want the answer right away. This is my calendar to book a 15-minute exploratory consultation. How will this help me? Will this really help me? I have this problem. So I have that available for you. And then if you want to download the Dancing Bear Academy app, it's dancingbearenlightenmentacademy.com. That's also the name of the YouTube channel, Dancing Bear Enlightenment Academy. And the Facebook group is this link here. So it's facebook.com/groups/Dancing Bear Enlightenment and Meditation. So that's the free group that you can join right now, and it has a lot of very like-minded tribe people. And I'll put this on Zoom in a minute. So I have a special gift for you. Like I said, every time I do anything, Spirit gives me a gift to give you. And it's an empowerment to clear blockages and raise your vibration. So just go ahead into your inner space, and I will transmit this out. And if you're on YouTube, you should still get it. And if you don't, book that free 15-minute with me and I'll give it to you. Well, group meditations are always nice. I never want them to end. Okay, so this is the question and answer time. I'm going to stop my screen share.